Here's how I think about glacier travel risks in order to help determine the system setups I and my team may want when we take on a glaciated objective. Hello again, I'm Jason. For glacier travel, I was taught to tie in this way. I was taught we need this much space between climbers. I was told we didn't need brake knots in between climbers. If you're like me, you were taught the fundamentals of glacier travel by climbing mentors and guides who are helping you with a specific objective, or at most, a few objectives in the same part of the globe. And that's the thing about glaciers. They change. They change from year to year, and they certainly have different general characteristics in different parts of the world. If you were in, say, Alaska, you might be confronted with crevasses 3 times as wide as those you would typically find in the Cascades of Washington. Our glacier travel systems, like all climbing systems, are put in place to mitigate risks. If our risks change, our systems need to change too. There is no single way to do it that's right for every circumstance. Maybe you want those brake knots between climbers because you have a meter or more of softer top snow on the glacier. Maybe you don't want those knots because your glacier is bullet hard and the knots cannot dig in. We are starting a glacier series, but before we get into individual systems and the trade-offs that come from choosing between them, I wanted to start with the bigger picture. Risks and systems are interrelated. You may only own a 60-meter rope. That rope length may dictate how much space you can put between climbers. Combine that with crevasse sizes, and you could potentially be limited to a certain number of spare coils. That coil length may dictate your default crevasse rescue system. Or should it be the other way around? Basically, which variables are you going to treat as fixed and which are you going to adjust? I tend to think about it this way. There is nothing I can do about crevasse sizes. Those are dictated to me and are treated as the first fixed variable. Basically, I want to have enough rope length between climbers that we can have only one person at a time on any snow bridge. So if I'm at one of those places with monster 30-meter wide crevasses, then we need at least 30 meters between climbers. Preparing to go on an expedition, it is more likely than not that I and my team will need to be practicing crevasse rescue. Given that, I also like to choose a default crevasse rescue system. We can only practice so many systems while also physically training for our objective, planning logistics, and living the rest of our lives. So what ends up happening is that I have a predetermined spacing between climbers and then a certain amount of rope coil needed in order to make our crevasse rescue system work with that spacing. That dictates my rope length, which I can shorten by taking in more coils, but if I need a longer rope, then I need a longer rope. The other thing that my crevasse rescue system dictates is how I choose to tie in. We'll get deeper into this in a coming video, but some rescue systems can be set up faster if I have a free end of the rope, or at least can create a free end very quickly. That might dictate that I clip in rather than tie in. And we discussed some of the carabiner considerations I think about when clipping in during last week's video. This is all assuming that crevasse danger is a preeminent risk on your climb. It could be that you only have a short distance of glacial travel before taking on technical mixed climbing. You might want to choose to prioritize a different set of variables then. But if navigating crevasses is the concern, this is how I think about ordering those variables in some way that allows me to be decisive and start getting the right equipment and start practicing the right techniques and procedures to allow me to move forward. We hope you'll like this series, and I hope this introduction and take on the big picture will linger in the background of your thinking as we confront the trade-offs between various system choices throughout the coming videos. What percentage of your climbs involve glacier travel? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. You can check out a video I referenced about choosing clip-in carabiners for glacier travel, or you can check out our entire glacier travel series as we continue to develop it. We'll see you next week and keep on getting more out of that big outside.